Thanks very much. Actually, I have this here so I can just check my Facebook. One sec. I know, I'm really glad to be here, and I loved the two performances before. I've got 4 short pieces to perform for you, and what I wanted to show was different things that language can do, and different ways that I guess I'm interested in language. So obviously language can have meaning, can tell stories, but also what about the sound when it's taken away? What about the sound the kind of technology that is language, all these things. We make sounds that are language, and we're like experts in that technology of language that we make. So I'm going to do a sound poem using just the sounds of language. So what happens, in a way it's like an abstract, like an impressionist painting. Like what happens or an abstract painting actually, what happens when it becomes more about the paint than the image portrayed. And so to look at that, I think it's important to know, like, how does language work? What's it doing to us? Or what ways do we use it? Or how does it shape the way we see the world? Or the way we can see the world? About do we think in language, or can we think outside of language? Or if we change language, can we change our thinking? All of those kinds of questions. And so also, so I'm interested in how we make language. So I brought my trusty cutting-edge 1922 Corona typewriter here, along with my laptop. Actually, my first typewriter I got from my bar mitzvah when I was 13, and I used to take it, like a little portable typewriter, and I used to take it and put it go to the woods and put it like in a log in the woods, and I type away my little poems, and then and just take it with me everywhere until once somehow, I don't know how it happened, it got broken in half. And my parents threw it out, but I wish I'd be so cool to have 2 halves of a typewriter. It would be very cool. So I've got a piece that I'm using typewriter. So it's also the sounds of the typewriter, which is, you can imagine it's language adjacent. It's making language. It's the sound of language, but also, one of the ways that we come to language is if you ever took typing, there's like these language manuals, and you make these, like sometimes you go like ABA, CDE, EEE, FF, you do that stuff, but also these little stories that, I guess they exist to be little stories or little sayings, but they're also typewriter lessons to teach you how to use it. So I've got a piece that is all the visuals are based on an old typewriter manual, and all the text is from an old typewriter manual. And then I have 2 other pieces. So I'll do a sound piece at the end, and the sound piece is it's just sound, but the images that I'm playing are they're Hebrew, and I'm really interested in Hebrew. Not only, I guess, it's sort of the letters of Hebrew are my ancestral alphabet, I suppose. So I am interested in that. And like a lot of Jewish kids who are not particularly religious, I had a bar mitzvah, and what you do is you learn to read Hebrew, not to understand it, but just to sound out the letters. And I loved the look of the letters and the sound of the letters, even though I didn't know what they meant. And part of it, culminating in you read from the Torah scrolls. So there's the Torah, the scrolls and 2 big things, and they're behind in the ark, which is behind in the special case. When they open it up, they say prayers to open it, and you take this big heavy thing, and when it's literally wrapped up in this sort of like velvet cover with silver thread, and literally has a silver crown on top of it. And just the idea, I'm a writer, it's like, okay, none of my books have silver crowns. But just the idea that it's sort of magical, it's special, it's just the physicality of the book itself. And suppose if in an Orthodox Jewish situation, if it's a big heavy thing, and if you were to drop it, the congregation would have to fast for 40 days, like during the day, because it's so. And then as people parade the Torah around, people take their prayer shawls and they touch it and then they kiss it. They can't kiss it directly, but so just the idea of language having this other property, right? And that's just the language itself, the physical object. It has this kind of numinous feeling, and actually in Jewish mysticism, the world was made out of the alphabet. The alphabet pre-existed creation, which I just find, like, regardless of whatever religious feeling, I just find that is such an interesting and kind of postmodern idea, right? Like language, just the words itself, the letters. And in Jewish thought, I wasn't going to talk so much about Jewish thought, but I think it's so, to me, it's one place where I found, I guess, kind of an avant-garde interest in letters and in language. Each letter has a little story about the shape of the letter, and we were just talking about Sesame Street. He's sometimes like, and now brought to you by the letter E, but just like the letter E is cool, right? Like, it's amazing, and our brains kind of develop around identifying such letters, right? So that's the last piece, which is it's got images of the Hebrew alphabet. And I know actually it's the alphabet, but there's extra little, what they call crowns, like they look like three little things on special letters to make them extra holy, I guess, as they appear in the Torah. And also the image is a scroll. It's a piece of Hebrew text that I scrunched up and buried for a bit and took out, which may seem strange and arbitrary, but there's a tradition in ancient Jewish thought, they actually don't throw out books that have the word God in it, so that they keep them in a special place, and then they bury them in the cemetery. There's a special set because you don't want to destroy it if it's a holy book and the word of God. So they bury it in. So I'm really interested in the physicality and what a text is, and this has nothing to do with the meaning. This is just the physical aspect of it. Okay, so that is my preamble, and so I'm going to just check my typewriter is working here. Okay, so just before we begin this, when I say backspace, you say space. Backspace? Space. Backspace? Space. Backspace? Space. When I say spacebar, you say shift. Spacebar? Shift. Spacebar? Shift. Spacebar? Shift. Spacebar. Shift. When I say backspace, you say space. Backspace? Space. Backspace? Space. Backspace? Space. Caps lock. You say delete. Caps lock. 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 Caps lock! Delete. Caps lock! Delete. Caps lock! Delete. Okay, when I say backspace, you say space. Backspace? Space. Backspace? Space. Backspace? Space. Backspace! Space. Backspace! Space. Spacebar. Spacebar. Shift. Spacebar. Shift. Spacebar. Shift. Spacebar. 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 Now, typewriter lessons. The last time I performed on typewriter, there was a group of writers in Hamilton who had a karaoke night. I didn't want to sing, so I did a thing where I did Jolene, but I typed out all the words. So it was kind of a cheap way out. The next piece is a more straightforward text piece that came out of collaboration. There's a writer-artist called Donna Mayora that I met on the internet. She's a very interesting artist who now lives in Connecticut, but she's from South India, from the Kerala region. And we ended up collaborating on a lot of visual poems, but she also makes these very simple but really rich little performance pieces. And a lot of them have to do with her being a South Asian woman and about representation of what that means. I mean, she cuts her hair short in traditional society in South India. She gets a lot of trolls that come after her, and she makes these images where she sticks things on her face, like dots, like from what do you call them? Like three-hole, whatever they are, reinforcers. Just simple like images, and that she's playing with the image of women in the world, and so it's a kind of powerful speaking back to that in ways that I just don't have any sense of. I don't understand. Somewhat I understand about women somewhat, but not about the South Indian context. And so we were working on some pieces that were to do with that. And so in this piece, it's her. You'll see her doing this piece, and I wrote text to it. And initially I thought, well, here I am, me, Mr. Middle-aged white guy, writing, like I'm literally speaking for her, and I thought that was maybe problematic, but it was interesting. Her attitude was actually that was like an act of allyship for us to work together, for me to try and enter into her world. It was a very different thing, so I feel really privileged that I had the opportunity to work with her in this context. So this piece is called The Forgiveness of Scissors. There once was a woman who wrapped herself in paper. She had many children. The children did not recognize her, surrounded by the petals of a cocoon, surrounded by the wings of a flower. She seemed like a soldier, her head wrapped because of a grievous wound. There once was a woman who wrapped herself in bandages, a wound like the petals of a red flower, the setting sun like the petals of a red flower. A wound, the golden hour of the body, a honey-colored time before night or forgiveness. We wrap ourselves in stories. We wrap ourselves in flowers. We use scissors to try to escape. We use scissors to turn our stories into petals, into leaves, into the wings of a book. Our stories are scissors. Our stories are made of the many cuts of the scissors. Our stories are cuts in larger stories, cuts in bandages holding the army together. The story of the army is told in the pages of a book. The soldiers are made of many cuts. Our children are wounds. The woman cut the pages of the book. There once was a woman who used scissors to cut herself out of a book. She used scissors to cut the sheets of the bed into ribbons. She cut a path to her children. sliced her bandages to escape from her ancestors, to escape from the soldiers. She had no wounds. She was in no war. She could return home. There once was a woman who cut herself from the cocoon which surrounded her. She used scissors to cut her bones into pieces and so escape forgiveness. She used scissors to cut the army into ribbons. She used scissors to cut the light into 1,000 bees. There once was a woman who was not a flower, yet used flour to escape. There once was a woman who disguised herself. There once was a woman who cut herself from her disguise. Scissors are a gun, a bayonet, a bomb. The woman used scissors to escape. Children, she said, I am home. My wounds are the petals of a flower, the red sun falling over the horizon, the honey gold light filled with 1,000 bees. There once was a woman who cut herself out of the story. The woman cut herself out of her wings as if escaping from forgiveness. She cut forgiveness into ribbons. There were soldiers all around her. There were the bones of the army. She held the scissors and made hundreds of cuts. There were her eyes. There was her mouth. She looked at her ancestors, and she spoke to her children. Children, she said, children, I am home. It would take away the solemnity of the piece. If she had to do it a few times because she cut her face when she was I didn't even get paper cuts. You know. So the next piece is I have an old friend, Peter Chin, who is a dancer and choreographer, and he's currently living in, he's Canadian, or Jamaican Canadian, and he's currently living in Cambodia, and he makes dances there, and including this is an image from him dancing at I forget the name of the town. It's an ancient temple, and it's the ruins of a temple, and it's him dancing. And so I was interested in writing text to go along with the dance. People write music to go along with the dance to go along with music, but I was interested in how text might work. So this is a piece called "Turn the Body." Walk to the temple. Walk up to the door. Walk up to the door of the temple that is no longer there, but here, the door that is no longer here, but there. They say that the temple is named Turn the Body. Turn the body in early morning, in late afternoon. Turn the body in all directions. The body is ash. The body is stone. The body turns in all directions. When we dance, we are at the threshold, a gateway, a door. We turn the body between this place and that other place, between that other place and this place, between time and the body, between time, the body, and place, between time, the body, and this other place, that other place where we dance, where we turn the body. Early afternoon, late morning, the body turns in all directions. The The body is stone. The body is fire. The body is ash. The body is a wall, a door. The body is a gateway, a sky. The body is memory. Dance is a memory between time and the body, between memory and time. Sunlight in early morning, sunlight in late afternoon. We turn in all directions. We turn the body to ash, to stone, to sky. We turn the body in all directions. Okay, so I'm a tree. I'm a tree moving in time. I'm a tree moving between this place and that place, between memory and time. All around me is dance. All around me is the memory of dance, of dancers dancing, dancers that are no longer there, but here. Hey, look at this tree, this living tree, this dance between time and the body, between body and time. All around me are dancers that are not there, but here, dancing through time, a forest of dancers, leaves shaking. When dancing, we are covered in leaves. The body is a forest of leaves turning. Dancing is a door between time and joy, between joy and the body. They say that the temple is named Turn the body in early morning, in late afternoon. Turn the body in all directions. The body is ash. The body is stone. The body turns in all directions. Okay, and the last piece is Temple Beyond Words. This is the piece with the Hebrew work, and it's a sound poem. So it's exploring sound. What the sound of language. We're a remarkable orchestra of sounds that we just know how to make, sounds that we use in what would be written language, but also sounds that we use just in communication, from everything from coughing to sneezing to hesitating to stuttering to, there's a lot of sounds that we make, some of which are official language sounds and some of which are not, but they think that they enrich our idea of what language is and what it can be.